Hi, Year 11. It's now still week 3, lesson 3 now, and it's the last bit we're going to do on healthy eating. There's a whole load more on healthy living, which is more to do with lifestyles and things like alcohol and drugs and all sorts of stuff. And that will be coming next. I think next week I'm going to be doing a dirt lesson with all of you, looking at following the mocks. So we'll look at that next week, and then the following week, in week 5, we'll come back to look at sort of social issues and things to do with lifestyles. So this work here, or this starter here, your title should still be Estar en forma, and put the date as appropriate. And then the starter is to translate or to match up these phrases, Spanish with the English. We're then going to do a piece of writing, a question 1 piece. Okay, so pause the video while you write these out, please. Write numbers 1 to 8 in full, and then translate them into English, please. Okay, so it's slightly weirdly done, this, isn't it? Because I've repeated stuff that I've got on the left-hand side on the right. And I don't quite know why the slide has done that. It's sort of corrupted itself. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're putting into English. So desayunar is to have breakfast. El desayuno, remember, is the meal. El desayuno, but desayunar is the verb to have breakfast. Beber, to drink. Merendar, to have a snack. As the stem changing verb, so meriendo is I have a snack. Cenar is to have dinner or have supper. Suelo comer, so a nice phrase there that you can use in the writing you're about to do, saying what you normally eat, what you tend to eat on a regular basis. Dieta equilibrada is a balanced diet. That's actually, I'm going to correct this. It should be mucho sal. Shouldn't be muchos. So I'm just going to change it in both places. A lot of salt. And then demasiadas vitaminas is too many vitamins. So it's a slightly odd concept, that, demasiadas vitaminas. But it's there to show you that it's vitaminas is plural and feminine. So demasiadas would also be plural and feminine. If it were too much salt, it would be demasiado sal. Okay, so that's your starter. Once you've checked and corrected that with your red pen, please, then move on. Okay, so what we're doing is looking at, we've done different meals of the day. You're going to do a piece of writing and then set targets on how to improve further. Okay, so this lesson is going to be, you've done an awful lot of reading and writing this week. We've done listenings as well, and in lesson 1. I think the lessons maybe were a little bit imbalanced. We had a lot of listening in lesson 1. We had a lot of translations yesterday, so readings, and today it's writing. So we've sort of done one skill a day pretty much. I want you please to spend a good half an hour on this task, please. In the normal writing paper, you would have about 20-25 minutes for question 1. Remember, you've got 4 bullet points, and it does force you, this question, to use different tenses. If you don't cover the tenses demanded in the writing, then you will lose a lot of mark on your content. Now, we don't know exactly what the assessments are going to be this year, but there will be assessments of some sort, and certainly there'll be some sort of writing. So I need you to take this seriously and think about how you're going to best answer these bullet points. Now, remember, this is the content and quality of the language that we're aiming for. So to get access to the top marks, 9 or 10, you need to have all aspects of the task covered. Your communication needs to be clear. You need to have a lot of information conveyed, and you need to get opinions in there with reasons. If you miss out one bullet point, then it takes you down to almost all aspects, and you instantly lose 40% of your writing content mark, rather. So get 7 or 8, you still covered everything, but maybe it's not quite as clear. You haven't got a lot of information, you've got quite a lot. So that's 7 to 10, you have to have everything covered. The difference between the two is how well you've covered it and how clearly. Over here on the right hand side, you've got quality of the language. You need to have complex structures. You need to have 3 time frames to get 5 or 6, and they need to be successful. Errors are mainly minor, it says, but it's almost always clear what you're trying to say, and that's important. They will, if you're using complex structures and sentences, they will allow for some errors, but you do need to make sure that it's clear, and there won't be very many errors, and there won't be errors in simple language. Below that, you can read this through. This is in your you had it in your home learning booklet and your grammar booklet last year, so you need to look in, and this year, so you need to look in the home learning booklets and the grammar booklets to get sight of this writing criteria. Okay, so going back to the task, I'm going to leave you with this. You can spend the rest of the lesson on this, and I'm just going to leave you to do it. I want you to submit a picture, please, of this writing. This is going to be the assessed work this week. So if you can send me a picture of question 1, about 90 words. What do you usually eat and drink for breakfast? With opinions, please. Present tense. What did you eat and drink yesterday for lunch? Opinions again, some detail, and the preterite tense. Today, what are you going to eat and drink today? So that's going to be the near future, or it could be the simple future if you want. It could have the conditional in there too, if you want. But certainly, the bullet point 4 will be the conditional. Is what Spanish food would you like to try? Now you can use the vocabulary that I put up on, and has been put up on Google Classroom at the beginning of this year to help you with this. Now I know that I have your portfolios, and that's a shame because that's where the sentence starters are. We will think over the next week or so how I can get those back to you, if it's possible. I don't know, but for the moment, use the. So I'm hesitating now because I was just thinking I can get the opinions, the sort of sentence starters to you via Google Classroom. So I'll work on that. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Take around 20 minutes at least on it and send me a picture when it is done. Thank you very much indeed. Home learning will be set during this lesson, during lesson 3. It'll appear on your Google Classroom, and it will be a Google form that I want you to fill in, which is a bit of a quiz on the stuff we've done this week. So make sure that that's ready for this time next week, as we'll be correcting home learning in lesson 3. Thank you very much indeed, and adios.